2021 NFL Draft. Some people's favorite time of year. Round 1, got to see these college players, their dream come true, get drafted to the NFL, go to some of these teams. Some teams instantly got better yesterday. So we're going to sit here and just kind of go through this first round, break these picks down, and give our opinions and whatnot on what we think this next year of football is going to look like. Obviously, the first pick going.
Well, hold up.
What do you got?
Before we get into the picks, we just got to talk about the amount of time that the NFL draft takes. It is incredibly long, and they are milking that sucker out. It is crazy. You get 10 minutes between each pick, but it takes about 15, 20.
Easily.
Oh, it says the pick is in, and you are sitting there just like, is it? Is the pick in? But that's all right. Like you said, this was a very deep draft. Some teams got incredibly better last night, so let's go ahead and get into it. Who you got going at number 1 here?
Crazy, bro. But yeah, that being said, jump right into Jaguars. Obviously, you knew for the longest time, since they knew they were picking number 1, going to go with Trevor Lawrence. The dude was the first round pick like 6 years ago in high school.
For real?
He was going to be this guy. So same more or less with the second pick with the Jets. There was a general consensus like a month and a half ago that Zach Wilson was like 100% going to be
decided.
Which I mean, he looked like last year. I thought Justin Herbert was the Disney poster child. This dude Zach Wilson looks like he was no older than 13, about to host some new Disney show. But hey, man, granted, he is our quarterback. We made another pick here we'll talk about when we get there. But number 3, this is where things got a little crazy.
Yes, sir.
49ers. There was a lot of talk that Mac Jones was going to be the guy and whatnot.
A lot of people were locked in on that.
I was hearing that was locked in 100%, and I've heard some things now today that like I said, John Lynch, I think, did prefer Mac Jones, but at the end of the day, this is Kyle Shanahan's football team. Yeah. He is the star of this show, believe it or not. His offense is just impeccable, and they decided to go with the future option and this untapped potential with Trey Lance.
And let's not disrespect Trey Lance here. I mean, he is an incredibly dynamic player, and he's going to make some splash plays. I mean, going on to the San Francisco team, which is pretty much still 1 year removed Super Bowl. I mean, they got a lot of pieces. Their entire problem last year was they weren't healthy. And, obviously Jimmy G wasn't healthy. They need a QB in there. So Trey Lance probably not going to get a lot of starts this season.
Probably 0, bro.
Exactly.
Probably at least
but in the future, I mean, that's the guy for them. That is exciting.
Yeah, no, potential is there with that kid. Great looking prospect, sit a year behind Jimmy G. And, maybe they tag Jimmy G for a year or two if Trey Lance isn't ready. But great pickup for them. Big future play there by San Francisco.
Yeah.
Number 4, had the man Kyle Pitts going to Atlanta, which I mean just might be if we're power ranking offense like right now, preseason early, this might be the combo, man. We're talking Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts, man. I mean, honestly, that's somebody's going to have to get double covered. And then the other person's going to be open, and these boys can go up there and get that football, dude. This is going to be close.
To me, this draft pick at number 4 makes Atlanta an instant ring-chasing team. I mean, how can other players not want to get in this offense, be a part of this defense even, try to turn this thing around down there in Atlanta? So, I mean, that's exciting. Shout out Kyle Pitts, highest drafted quarterback NFL history.
Tight end.
At tight end, yep. I said quarterback.
Yeah, you did.
Tight end. Shout out, man. Gonna be a legend. Excited to see what he does.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome to watch for sure. Electric player. Number 5 going to Cincinnati Bengals. The one with the man Jamar Chase, former teammate of Joe Burrow. Which I thought for a minute possible offensive line. But they will pick 5th again in the second round. There's still a bunch of good offensive linemen left in this draft, but Jamar Chase obviously wouldn't have been there. So it's like, hey, let's go get this receiver. You got a 1-2 punch now. Granted, they're healthy between Burrow and Chase, probably for the next 10 years to come if you wanted to.
I mean, that's just another part of making Joe Burrow happy
right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're gonna acquire linemen other ways. So let's go ahead and keep moving on here. Number 6. We got your boy, Jalen Waddle going here, wide receiver Alabama to the Miami Dolphins. What a crazy pickup for them. I mean, insane. All these Alabama receivers are just Madden players.
Yeah, I mean, him and Smith, obviously last year being on a tear, Waddle getting hurt. But, this is going to be great. Former teammates with Tua. Dude's an absolute burner there on the football field. That's going to be a nasty 1-2 combination.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to move on to number 7 here with the Detroit Lions. Picking up Panay Sewell, bolster up that offensive line. I thought possibly right here the pick for them should have been maybe Devonta Smith to go ahead and get Jared Goff a weapon, but they'll probably just look to fill that out in the gap. Go get Panay Sewell right here, bolster up that offensive line. You're bringing in Jared Goff. You want him to be happy and be able to perform with this team that's just kind of mid-tier right now. So I think that was the right pickup for them.
Incredible pickup. I mean, he opted out 2020, but in 2019, he won whatever award it was that makes him the nation's best overall interior lineman. I mean, dude's just a beast. So that's a huge pickup. Got to protect your new QB, Jared Goff. Moving on, pick number 8 here. We got J.C. Horn, cornerback, going to the Carolina Panthers. Coming out of Carolina, a little bit already in the market. So shout out there. That's cool. First defensive guy in this draft ends up being J.C. Horn. I found that pretty interesting. I thought it would have been Micah Parsons, Patrick Surtain. Shout out J.C. Horn. Got number 8.
Yeah, this was definitely, I think, the first kind of a reach in this draft. Obviously, JC being the first defensive player. But I honestly thought the Panthers were going to go line here. They were going to go offensive line and get Rashawn Slater. I know that's what Mel Kiper and the boys were saying as well. Someone, you bring in Sam Darnold. But, hey, they needed help with this defense too. I am so looking forward to this defense from Carolina. They got some really young guys in here. Jeremy Chin, Brian Burns, now adding J.C. Horn. If Sam Darnold, that offense can do what they did last year, if this defense gets any better, it's a playoff team right here.
That's factual.
So we're going to move right on to the Denver Broncos. Go ahead, getting probably the second best cornerback in this draft in Patrick Surtain from Alabama. I think they really needed this. I heard they were still going to be in the play for the quarterback position, but clearly they decided to go the defense, which I think they needed. They lost Chris Harris in free agency, and that was probably their biggest struggle last year. They got the offensive weapons. They just had to find that quarterback. Went and got Teddy, so let's address this secondary. Go ahead and get Patrick Surtain. Good pickup.
Yeah, obviously just needed to bolster up that defense. Love Patrick Surtain. I mean, cornerback in Alabama, you're probably getting better reps at practice versus in-game. They're just shitting on every other teams. I mean, look at the guys he's lining up against every day at practice. I mean, this dude is elite. Moving on, number 10, boy. Philly made the move. Originally, they traded down to 12. Draft night, they traded back up to number 10, drafting the Heisman winner Devonta Smith out of Alabama to Philly. What an incredible pickup. I mean, new quarterback Jalen Hurts is the guy now. It is time to get him some weapons. Last year we got Jalen Reagor. Didn't really produce the way we wanted to, but I do think he will be better. Adding Devonta Smith on this is just clear-cut number 1 guy, exactly what Philly needs.
Yeah, definitely exactly what Philly needed. Great pickup. Like I said, they were going to take one of those receivers as they fell to him. And I mean, again, former teammate of Jalen Hurts there, obviously 3 years ago at Alabama. So go get that guy. This might put some pressure on Jalen Reagor, which, I mean, I think the Eagles fans can lighten up on Jalen Reagor. Dude's still only 22.
No, I'm not hating on him, but I think competition's good within that core. I mean,
he's going to be the guy here, man. See if they can build that tandem. Eagles have a lot more holes to fix personally, but they addressed something big tonight. Good job for Howie Roseman. But moving on to 11, which I think honestly was the steal of this. Bears moving up and grabbing this man, Justin Fields. They got their guy. We saw Mitch bounce last year. They're bringing in Andy Dalton to probably start the year and eventually going to turn this thing over to Justin Fields, man. I don't know what happened with Justin Fields' stock at one point in time. He was guaranteed slated to be the number 2-3 guy or 4 to Atlanta, if that's what they were thinking. But something happened, man, that his stock was slowly falling, and the Bears just got up and saw this opportunity, man. I think they got their guy, Allen Robinson and Justin Fields. They already got the defense. Now, right now, my only thing with Chicago is I feel like just with the players they have and the contracts they have right now, they really only have about a 2-3 year window with some of the players they have. But, hey, man, Justin Fields is going to be the guy. He's on a rookie deal for the next 4 years. So go ahead, sign some dudes if he shows signs of being that dude. I think this was the steal of the night right here. For
sure. And I think the way this entire draft went down these past 3 months really just puts a chip on Justin Fields' shoulder. So he's going to want to get in there and prove himself. Sorry, Andy Dalton. Not going to work out for you, bud. But
he'll probably start 4 or 5.
Yeah,
we'll get to that.
Big pickup for the Bears. That could potentially be, one of the best picks out of this entire draft. Moving on here,
could be the best quarterback to ever play for the Bears. That's not a hard thing to defeat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, he might win like 3 games. It'd be incredible.
That's what I'm saying.
Moving on, we got Micah Parsons, linebacker, Penn State, going to Dallas Cowboys at 12. And I mean, dude's 2019 first-team All-American, opted out 2020. Just a fucking beast, makes a lot of tackles. That's a great pickup. I mean, he's a good player.
Yeah, no, and it was Jerry Jones is known to be aggressive at the draft, and they're trading up with the Eagles, where the reports were that the Cowboys, whether they were at 10 or 12, were going to take Micah Parsons. So to be able to move back 2 spots and get a third out of Philly, I mean, the value is obviously better at 13 than it is 10, and they still were able to get their guy no matter what. So to get an extra draft pick out of that, it's a good little pickup for the Cowboys. They needed him bad. They need to address that. Still need to address that secondary, which I'm sure they will in the draft here, but huge pickup. That boy's a baller.
Yes.
We're going to move right on here. Number 13, the San Diego Chargers, and that's Rashawn Slater. I think this was the best guy after Penei Sewell. We'll see the next pick. I think the third best guy, but this pick right here, man, again, just give that support to Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert showed here. He can be that guy. He looks like he's going to be around for a minute, big stud quarterback. So go get him his help. Go get those big boys up in the trenches. They're the ones that set the whole pace of the game. So they got receivers. They got a good running back tandem. Go get that line for Justin Herbert and let that D do the rest. Paul.
Yeah, the last first rounder to come out of Northwestern was in 2005. So been a minute. Shout out for that school getting Rashawn Slater coming out of there. Moving on, pick number 14, we got the New York Jets coming in with their second pick in this first round, getting Elijah Vera Tucker, offensive guard out of USC. And again, just another big boy. This was a huge hole this New York Jets team has is their offensive line. So picking up a first round offensive lineman is huge for them. They needed that.
Yeah, no, this was awesome to see them sitting at 23 and move up with the Vikings here at 14 to go grab. I think everybody had rated him as the third best lineman in this draft. And like I said, he's going to be the inside guy. We already got Mekhi Becton at left tackle. The left side of this line is set for the next 10 years. And again, this is just aggressiveness from Joe Douglas at the GM spot, going ahead and showing. I mean, you made a huge investment getting Zach Wilson at number 2. So what do? You trade up, get a big boy up front to just help protect that investment and keep them moving. I mean, I think the Jets, they're showing signs, man. The Jets aren't playing around this year, made some big free agency moves, obviously making moves in the draft. They have the number 2 pick in the second round. Hopefully, I'm hoping they address cornerback at that position, maybe edge rusher. But
got to.
I think the Jets, man, might walk away from this draft with an A+, honestly.
Yeah, looking good so far for sure.
We're going to move on to number 15, though. This one was crazy. This boy, Mac Jones, falling all the way down to the Patriots. Obviously, we said earlier, everyone thought he was going to San Francisco, but going to the Patriots here, man. And this is crazy to me because Bill Belichick probably just saw him sitting there, probably chomping at the bit to go ahead and Mac Jones. I mean, the biggest thing about Mac Jones is he's been getting these Brady-like comparisons because of how his mind operates and whatnot and his recalling of play calls. I don't know the right wording, but not the most athletic guy. Probably out of all these prospects, he's probably the most unathletic guy. He's like 10 times more athletic than Tom Brady ever was, but that's not really saying a lot. But I mean, Mac Jones, I mean, hey, he's going to sit a year behind Cam Newton. Bill Belichick's going to go ahead and get him ready. We saw in the offseason, the Patriots probably won the offseason with all the
for sure
getting people back on their defense. I mean, Mac Jones, you just gave Mac Jones an Alabama quarterback. Bill Belichick loves players from Alabama. He knows how they're coached. He's got a good rapport with Nick Saban. Those kids are disciplined. So all Bill Belichick needs Mac Jones to do is just sit in that pocket, let Josh Daniels create that offense.
Yep.
Some rockets, man. That might be deadly, man.
Let me fucking tell you something. All right, Mac Jones is about to be what Jimmy G was supposed to.
Yeah.
All right. It's just going to fit. It's going to work. You're right. He's going to sit behind Cam this year. Cam's probably going to retire after this year. Got to assume they're ring chasing at this point. I mean, this is going to be an exciting year for the New England Patriots, boy. Moving on. We got the Arizona Cardinals. Pick 16, going with linebacker Zaven Collins out of Tulsa. You know, staying local to that Arizona market is always a good thing. And this is just another linebacker, makes a lot of fucking tackles. I mean, great player, good pickup. Arizona needs this. Just more help for Budda Baker and the boys on D.
No, for sure. That's a big pickup for them. Like I said, they've been making a lot of moves in this offseason as well. Just get some more help on the defense. They'll probably keep addressing offensive in the later end of the draft, but like that pickup for sure. Number 17, we got the Oakland Raiders taking this man Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama Crimson Tide. Another guy, just a huge body up front. Yeah. Obviously, the Alabama's team last year was disgusting, but I think this was a great pick for them. They lost what's his name there to the Patriots this offseason in free agency. Can't remember boy's name there, but address that right back here in the left tackle position with Alex Leatherwood. I think it's going to be great. Derek Carr, I mean, it's got to be getting to the point, man, between Derek Carr. John Gruden's going to be there for the next 6-7 years, so he's got that contract. Derek Carr, maybe not. This is going to be Derek Carr's year to. I mean, we gotta put up some MVP like numbers. I mean, Derek Carr is probably going to be on his way out,
and this might be incredible help for him. So moving on, pick 18, we got the Miami Dolphins again, staying with the local market. Yep. Picking up Jalen Phillips, defensive end out of Miami. And let me just tell you something, bro. Them Hurricanes have a reputation in the NFL for just being hard hitters. I mean, so just huge defensive pickup. I love it here for Miami. Already on a super strong defense. I mean, his potential to grow in Miami is incredible.
Yeah, no, honestly, he's going to get dropped into a really good system with Brian Flores here. Bunch of veteran guys kind of on that defense and some young players as well. Obviously, we saw Miami address, get that weapon in Jamar Chase in the first. And like I said, that's another, they're on pace to have a really, really good draft. They have a lot of picks left and they're addressing some really good spots. But moving on here to 19 with the Washington football team, who I thought were going to pull the moves the Bears did. I honestly thought that was going to be Washington.
Move up for the QB.
Not Chicago, but went ahead and got Jamin Davis, which, I mean, hey, I think they got some really good pieces going on offense. We saw last year them getting Chase Young. Let's just go ahead and add some more pieces to that defense. I like Jamin Davis, but you know what I'm saying? I still think Washington has a lot more to figure out, especially in that NFC East, who I think between the Eagles, the Giants, and the Cowboys last night got way better. But I don't know. Washington's a weird team to me, man. I still think they need the quarterback. I don't know what Heineke. I don't think Heineke's the guy at all. But
Fitzmagic, Barta.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but address the hole they have on defense, and we'll see.
No, for sure. I mean, the star highlight of this Washington football team last year was their defense, so they're just trying to make it better. Another young guy to just be in there with Chase Young. I mean, he was just rookie of the year, essentially starting their careers at the same time. Just try to feed off that energy from each other.
For sure.
Moving on next, we got another NFC East team here. New York Giants pick 20, going Kadarius Toney out of Florida, wide receiver. And that's just a big pickup, man. I mean, a big problem for this Giants team has been obviously their terrible quarterback, can't hold on to the football. And then on top of that, he's not really throwing to too great a talent. What's the tight end over there? Ingram? What's his boy? Evan Ingram is supposed to be that guy, and he just one week he is, other weeks he isn't. They just need a consistent guy out there on wide out. So, I mean, this might be the guy for him. Kadarius Toney falling at number 20. I mean, shout out.
Yeah, obviously, them moving back here, getting Kadarius Toney from Florida, who was great. I don't know. 20 to me was a little bit of a stretch to go ahead and get him. I'm a big fan of Toney here, but
I think they needed it, though.
I think they needed it. Like I said, just give Daniel Jones another weapon. You're going to get a healthy Saquon this year. So it's going to be time to shine, man. Daniel Jones is going to have about 8 weeks to show that he can be the quarterback of this New York football Giants. If not, man, he might be bouncing.
Yes, sir.
All right, but we're going to move right on here to the Indianapolis Colts, pick 21, getting Kwity Paye. I love
best name in the draft.
Best name in the draft. I love this pickup from Indiana, who obviously had a lot shaken up this offseason, bringing in Walker to him Wentz. Reunite with a head coach there, what the fuck his name is.
Frank Reich,
yep. But bringing in Kwity Paye, just bolster up that defensive line. Their offensive line is maybe the best in football. Indianapolis Colts don't really have a lot of holes. So, I mean, obviously bringing in Carson, we believe that, that he can pick right back up where Phillip Rivers left off, should be able to. And so let's just go ahead and keep locking down that defense. I think the offense is set for the most part, got good running backs. So let's just go ahead and take care of the other side of that ball. I think Kwity Paye was a great pick here.
You said it, dude. And I think they could have picked a multitude of people, and it would have been a great pick because they just really don't have many holes. Like, they're just adding to a great team right now. So moving on, pick number 22, we got the Tennessee Titans coming in, picking up cornerback out of Virginia Tech, Caleb Farley. Pretty good shutdown guy. And obviously Tennessee's problem is not their offense. It was just their defense was getting a lot of points scored on them. So bringing in Caleb Farley, try to help shut that down a little bit next season.
Yeah, for sure. We saw him during the trade deadline last year, bring in Desmond King to address that cornerback position, and went ahead and just doubled down on it with this draft. Get Caleb Farley, who I think, at one point in time, maybe the best cornerback, I think, out of the three. But, to grab him at 22 here, I think is a steal. And, just add that up to that defense. But moving on to 23 here, Minnesota Vikings picking up his Hokie teammate, Christian Darrisaw. Obviously, they made the trade to move back with the Jets. I think they were going to go offensive line either way, and I'm pretty sure with what they got back, they got a couple third-round picks back, and we're still able to get Darrisaw, address that offensive line. This is going to be another thing, man, where Kurt First Cousins maybe only has this year, man, to really show.
Yes, sir. I agree.
The Vikings got him to just move on. I think they got the pieces, the receiving core, Dalvin Cook, obviously. And so, I still think they need some big pieces at defense, but let's get that line going. You can't have enough offensive linemen, good offensive linemen. You can't go wrong.
100% agree. Moving on, pick number 24, Pittsburgh Steelers go with the running back Najee Harris out of Alabama here. And that's just an incredible pickup. They were obviously having issues with James Conner, weren't really seeing the production they wanted. So they get Najee Harris here, who had an incredible season in his senior year. Shout out Alabama, 6 first-round picks. It's just fucking Alabama, bro.
Nick Saban, bro, that's just Alabama. But, yeah, I think this was a great pick for the Steelers. Obviously losing James Conner this season in this offseason. He's moving on to Arizona. Bringing in Najee Harris, who I think was easily the best running back in this draft, got him at 24. I knew for sure after the Dolphins went Jalen Phillips, no other really team was in the running for that. So if he was sitting there for the Steelers, they were going to take him, man. They're getting a big running back here. They already have a great offensive line. So this dude's a power back, man. He's going to be able to run through some cats. And Steelers are still in this thing, man. I know they got embarrassed in the playoffs, but they still went 11-5 last year. If Big Ben comes out and they do their thing, they're still in that window. They can pull it off.
Yeah, for sure. They had a funk season last year.
But next pick, we did see another running back go off the board. 25th, Jacksonville Jaguars selecting Travis Etienne, obviously getting Trevor Lawrence's teammate. There at fucking Clemson. And this was a weird one for me because I know a lot of people were just coming off Robinson there.
I love James Robinson.
I like James Robinson too, and they did pick up Carlos Hyde. But to me, this was a thing where, maybe this was a luxury pick for the Jags, but go ahead and get Trevor Lawrence's teammates, show that, hey, we're putting full support into Trevor Lawrence. And Travis Etienne is a beast. He's obviously the second graded wide receiver in this draft class. Got the giggles right now. Sorry, boys and girls. But, I love this pickup for them. Obviously, the combo between him and James Robinson has potential to be great. Get Carlos Hyde. I think they brought Etienne in to be a third down back for the Jags here. But just go ahead, man. Get Trevor Lawrence's weapons. Jacksonville might be pretty good next year. You got to move it on here. Rich, you got to move us on. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on right here. Cleveland Browns, number 26, picking up Greg Newsome, defensive back, which I think is great, man. Obviously, the Cleveland Browns showed
Big case of the giggles here, bro. Yeah, sorry, my fault. We are just going to pull it together here. This is a huge pickup for the Cleveland Browns. They obviously have that monstrous defensive line. A little bit of problems in the secondary. So picking up Greg Newsome, the second out of Northwestern here. Pretty good lockdown guy, so good for them. Moving on here, pick 27. We got the boy, Rashad Bateman, going to the Baltimore Ravens, wide receiver out of Minnesota. This is just a big pickup. I think one of Baltimore's biggest lacks was their wide receivers. They kind of had that weird tizzy last season with Dez. I mean, shout out, cool to see him come out, do the thing. But, they need a guy. So picking up Rashad Bateman, I think, is pretty great. I think getting him at pick 27 is great value.
Yeah,
dude's a track star.
Yeah, no, he is, and they needed him a lot. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, track star, he's more of that Hollywood Brown mold, but like I said, just go get weapons for Lamar Jackson. They have obviously proved they're a great running football team. Obviously, they're set in stone at the tight end position, so go get Lamar Jackson. These receivers, man, and let's see him work that on a little bit. But going to move right on here. The 28th pick, New Orleans Saints, getting Peyton Turner, going ahead and just bolstering up that edge. Like I said, their offense is pretty taken care of. We're going to see what they do at the quarterback position this year, whether or not it's between Jameis Winston, Taysom Hill. But I think other than that, the offense is pretty taken care of. They got a top 5 offensive line, great receiving core, obviously Alvin Kamara. So let's just keep adding pieces to that defense. That offense is going to work itself. And let's just be able to stop, especially with the Tampas and the Green Bays and that NFC, man. You're going to be able to have to lock some of these quarterbacks down. So go ahead and get that edge rush help.
Yeah, for sure. And I think they already got a pretty good defensive line with Cam Jordan and the fellas.
Right.
So shout out Peyton Turner, 28th pick. Moving on, pick 29, Green Bay Packers refuse to get Aaron Rodgers a weapon he wants out. Instead, they go with cornerback Eric Stokes out of Georgia. I mean, and that is a problem. Green Bay obviously was their secondary last season, so it makes sense they need that. So yeah, I mean, probably great pick for him, Eric Stokes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't see a problem with this pick at all. I see a lot of Packers fans kind of being unhappy with this pick, but I mean, we saw what happened to Kevin King last year in that NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
He needed to address this cornerback position.
Yep.
I don't know if Eric Stokes per se was maybe the right pick right here, but they needed to adjust that secondary, and that's exactly what they did. So there's still a lot of draft left to go get Aaron Rodgers some weapons, or maybe they just decide to deal him. But either way, I don't think it was the worst pickup in the world. But number 30, we got Buffalo Bills coming in here, getting Gregory Rousseau, who I think is a great pick. Him, a defensive lineman coming out of the Hurricanes, man, coming out of Miami, who's going to have to go play in that cold, man. But this is a great pickup for them, man. A team that their offense really turned it on last year and showed how great they're going to be for multiple years to come. It was Josh Allen's coming out party, and obviously seeing Gregory Rousseau coming in and getting this edge rush going to just bolster up that defense, which I was saying throughout the year last year that was very inconsistent at times. So, just go get a guy for that.
Yeah, he's just another one of those Hurricanes, bro. I got high hopes for them. Moving on, pick number 31, getting to the end here. We got the Baltimore Ravens with another pick, picking up Jason Owie. Edge rusher out of Penn State. And, shout out, incredible name. But this is just another problem Baltimore Ravens had. They gotta bolster up a little bit on defense, and that's all there is to it. Penn State has good defensive players.
Yeah. Penn State always had great defensive players. So, I mean, yeah, definitely. I think between 27 and 31, the Ravens sitting at those picks, I think they addressed 2 very big needs they had. So, I mean, this is already a team that we know for sure is going to be in the playoffs. So, just add more pieces to that puzzle. And last but not least, the defending Super Bowl champions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Come on, let's get through this. Go ahead and get Joe Tyron, linebacker.
Tyron? Yeah. Barely know her, dude.
Joe Tryon at that linebacker. And we saw, honestly, the Tampa Bay Bucs linebacking core, especially in the playoffs, kind of take over some of these football games. Devin White, Levante Davis, Joe Tryon is going to be the guy to bring into that is going to be able to learn under those 2 guys and be able to produce some high-level defensive play.
Yeah, I mean, and again, the Buccaneers are just another team here where they could have picked up anyone. It would have been a good pick. I mean, they're just a super team, both sides of the ball here. So shout out Joey Tryon. Let's hope he tries and gets a couple sacks here next season.
He needs to eat. But all right, that being said, everybody, that was round 1 of the 2021 NFL draft. We got rounds 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 still to go over the next couple of days. But awesome to watch. Good little time. Long, Roger Goodell. Definitely tighten up on these picks, dude. Like, I gotta go to bed at a decent time. But that being said, man, this is awesome. I know some players got moved. Hope players got teams, fans of these teams. They got the player they wanted. But that being said, man, the Meat Pack Salami Squad, the fuck out of here. Perfect.